continue.
What sport did you play in college?
I played rugby in college, 4 years, St. Mary's College.
What was your favorite part about playing that sport, especially in college?
I would say probably the one of my most favorite parts was being able to compete against like the best rugby competition in the United States. So for me, coming from a really, really small high school and having played, I mean, I've been playing sports since I was like, 4 or 5 years old, basically. So played consistently 3 sports all through high school. So for me, it's just it was like almost like a fulfillment of a dream, like when you're a little kid. You want to try to play sports for as long as you can. So having the opportunity to play, high profile Division I rugby was just a really cool experience. Where every week you're playing, Cal Berkeley, you're playing Stanford, you're playing Davis, you're playing the military academies. It was such a amazing kind of realization. They're like, wow, I'm being able to represent my school and I'm playing against this incredibly high level competition and being a part of, one of the oldest and one of the best rugby programs in the country. We've been top 10 in the country now for well over 20, 25 years. So just being a part of that, like knowing that you're part of this amazing history and like this amazing tapestry of rugby, like it's the oldest sport at St. Mary's. So just kind of all that, just knowing that you're a part of that and that you're contributing to it and that you were like pushing it forward and making it better. But also, I played against guys who played professionally later on, played semi-professionally, have represented the United States in the World Cup. So that whole thing was really cool.
And how did your love for that sport grow throughout playing it in college?
It grew exponentially. I fell in love with it like the first time I played it. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm just now getting introduced to rugby now as a 18-year-old college freshman. But I loved it. I think I loved it more than anything just because of the guys that I played with. I played, with guys who today are still some of my closest friends, and just so my love for it grew the more that I learned about the sport, and the better that I got. I guess the better you get at anything, the more you tend to love it. So by my senior year, it was, it's what I love to do most. By the time I was, my last year playing, I played a little bit afterward, but yeah, just again every year, it was because you learn something new, you get better, you play against better competition. The older you get, you got younger guys coming in who are constantly pushing you. So yeah, I'd definitely say it grew. Every year, more and more and more.
How did the sport help you grow as a person?
Massively. Number one, as a student athlete, you had to be so disciplined with how you manage your time, how you budgeted your time. So like a typical day for me, because rugby is almost year round, but I was like in the middle of this, like during the season, typical day would be you wake up, go to class, probably 3 classes throughout the morning. I tried to be done by 1 o'clock because I needed to go into the training room, get worked on, get stretched out, get taped, do all this stuff. Go out to practice for about 3 hours. Go to dinner. Dinner's done, now you got all your homework. So it didn't leave a lot of time for, shenanigans really. You had to be very disciplined, you had to be on top of everything, and I wanted to do well academically, so I think it was a really good balance where, you work hard, but you play hard, but at the end of the day, it's about getting good grades, going to class, getting your degree. That's why I was there. I was there to get my degree. But then I used rugby as a tool, with respect to, personal discipline, just a lot of different things that I think helped me grow up a lot,
How did playing rugby better your college experience?
Oh, it was the best thing. It was the best decision I've ever made. But no question, the best decision I ever made was going, to play rugby. And I got to travel the world. I've been able to play in Fiji. I've been able to play rugby in Italy, in Spain, in Andorra. I got to travel the world. My horizons broadened hugely because of that. Like I said, just the friendships and relationships you develop are amazing. Like when I lived in England, and I was going to grad school, so much of my experience there was enriched by having played rugby because you run into so many people who are former ruggers or they still play. And it's just one of those things. It's like it's a cool little fraternity. You know, you can go anywhere in the world, and if you go to a place where they play rugby, immediately you're in. You know what I mean? Like there's so many times where I was living abroad where I read it. You know, you go into a pub or whatever, and you're like, hey, you played rugby? I played rugby too. Before you know it, you're talking with the guy, and you're chatting it up, and he's your buddy. It's stuff like that. It's really neat.
What were some struggles that you encountered?
Freshman year, honestly, I'll just start with that. Just not knowing how to really play the sport, getting just physically beaten up, especially when you're in your first couple of years, just by guys who are bigger and better and faster. So just having to persevere through just getting your butt kicked every day, and coming home and you're just physically drained, you're mentally drained, just everything hurts. So once you kind of overcome those obstacles, and then there kind of just comes a point where you kind of say to yourself, okay, I'm either I got to go 100% every single day, or I'm just not going to survive the season. So a lot of it was just, having that mental discipline to push through and just want to get better, and just kind of realizing it's not going to be easy, and you're going to struggle, but ultimately it's going to pay off. So it really it changed the way that I thought about training and practice and preparation and just a lot of things, and just knowing that, like I said, I came from a small high school, Division V high school in Northern California. So going from that to playing Division I rugby, it's like having to learn Italian in a day. You know what I mean? It's just you're having to make this huge, massive. The learning curve could not have been steeper.
And finally, for any Moreau student that's going on to play sports in college, what advice would you give them?
I would say if you have the opportunity to be a student athlete in college, absolutely take it. Do it. I don't care if you're at a D3 school, NAIA school, D1 school, it doesn't matter. The opportunity presents itself because your college experience is going to be so much better. It's going to be more fulfilled. It's going to be more enriched. You play it doesn't matter. You play a club sport, you play an intercollegiate sport. Again, if the opportunity is there and you have that passion and you want to continue it, I would do it. You got it, because honestly, for most athletes, your window of opportunity to be an athlete is typically high school, right? It's like 90% of people stop playing sports after high school. So if you have that opportunity expanded for another 4 years and you love it, you're passionate about it, do it. Because you're never going to have another opportunity in your life where you're going to be in that good a shape and that young, where your body can still take that kind of punishment, and like I said, it'll just make your college experience that much better.
Okay, thank you. That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, no worries.